Okay, this video that I'm going to be showing you here has to do with salt. And it's the natural trace mineral salt that you can buy at your animal feed stores. Here where we live, we get the Redmond salt. It's just real close to where we live, so I can get it bulk. And I'll be showing you a little bit of what I've done here, and it's just absolutely amazing. And you can see it's got a little bit of clay in there with it, and the minerals, it's a red. But you can see the white in there as well, but it's all natural, just grabbed out of the ground. In fact, this stuff is also used to salt the roads. It is not processed salt. This is natural mineral salt. It has about 80 to 90 minerals in it. And it's an amazing supplement for not only us, whether it's the Himalayan salt or this that's dug right out of the ground, same stuff. Different minerals, obviously, with where it's mined, but our bodies need it, and it's amazing what it does for us. It's amazing what it does for plants. I'm going to show you what I've done and what's happened. Okay, so a year ago, I was thinking about how to kill the weeds in my driveway, because I didn't want my kids coming out here. My driveway is rock, and if you look at the rock, I'm shooting this in the evening, so I don't know if the sun's going to hit it. My driveway is rock, and it was just covered in weeds, and I had to spray it, and it was just a mess having to spray it 3 times through the summer. And I dislike sprays, but I couldn't keep up with it. There's a few weeds out there you can see. You can just go pluck them. But I actually went and I'll show you right here. I first tried with this salt, and I poured it on the weeds, and it killed it. If you overdo it, like a ton, like if I poured, this on a weed, it killed it. And so I bought this, initially bought the bags, and it works so amazingly well that I went and bought a 1-ton bag of it, which is right behind here, and I've just put a plastic bag over it, and you can see this stuff is leached out here. It's been out here for a year, but it's a 1-ton bag, and down inside of it, you just scoop it out. Water got in there, and you can see that it kind of hardened up, but if I hit it with a mallet, it just busts right up. But this is on its, I'm going to go and grab a whole nother ton of it. It's worked so phenomenal. But I put almost a ton of it on my driveway, and this is actually the salt that they haul and put on our roads around here, because it's just inexpensive to get this as the road salt. But I put it thick on the driveway, and it absolutely cleared all the weeds off of it. And I had a person that works with yard work. He said, yeah, but what's it going to do to the trees and stuff around it? And I said, hey, I've already put little bits of it in my garden, and the garden does just amazing. Now, you have to know where I live is just absolutely, it freezes all the way till the 20th of June. And this tree right here is about 14 or 15 years old right here. It's pathetic. I mean, but what happened is they're like bonsai trees. You get them to grow here. So what I did is last year I took the salt and I spread it around the outside. Now, let me just show you, because this is what I was going to do again this year. I put this salt into this bag. Here's what I did. And I come over here. I mowed the lawn, and it's more like I need to bale it. It was so long. I get too much going on. And so you can see all the lawn. I need to rake it up. I'm going to just throw this around. So I take like a handful, and let's see if I can show you. About around the outer, just outside the farthest reach of the limbs. So it's right down in there. And you can see. And then I just throw it around here. And then another handful, as much as I can grab in a handful. 3 handfuls. And then I'll put another one on the other side. And these are about on the outside of, there we go, about right there. And you could do more than that. In fact, I probably will. I'll just throw a little bit more, because it actually has a similar effect as a fertilizer. And where the lawn is, you'll see it kind of die down in that one spot, and then it comes back just crazy after it. Because, there we go, I threw another handful in there. Now, that's about what I do around every tree. Now what, if you take a look at this, you can see on this tree, all those tall little fluffy limbs that go straight up, and they're just little fluff balls going straight up. Those are growth from last year. I did not have it before then. It was like a malnutrition tree. And the thing about this is it also, I swear it helps it with growing fruit as well. If it's got all the nutrients and everything. Because I've had maybe, in 14 years, probably 20 apples on this thing. Yeah, probably 20 apples in all the years. And take a look at it this year. If you take a look at this, well, let's just show a limb down in here. It's just loaded. And it froze. Okay, we'll show you how bad it froze in here. Take a look at the little apple right here. See the frozen right here, that little, oops, sorry. See the leaf? The leaf froze around the bud. See this one right here? They're like, it froze, it stunted it. It didn't grow big. So what I'm saying is it froze, but not cold enough to kill the fruit. It froze, and the leaf is stunted in here, but the apple isn't. This is the evidence that it gets cold like that here. Let's see, here's another one. Well, I already showed you that. Here's where fruit didn't grow on this one, if you can see, and you can see all the stunted little leaves in here. These are the leaves around the flower. That one shows, you can see the little apple growing and then all the stunted leaves around it. That's because it froze around it, but the fruit didn't. This tree was it has so much nutrients, they go crazy on this salt. And this is the evidence of it. And if I show it straight up, you can see this straight limb. This whole limb, like from right here going up, is all new from last year. And you're going to see it starting to branch out up on the top, and you'll get new growth. It's going to go crazy. I cannot tell you how amazing throwing minerals around your tree is. And it's not just throwing nitrogen and the different key elements that farmers go out and buy it, this processed pharmaceutical kind of stuff. This is all natural salts. Our body needs it, so do the trees, so do the animals. And by the way, let me go back to this so you get it. If you just want to go and buy, you can get it at one of your farming stores, whether it's IFA, whether it's Tractor Supply. They sell you these trace mineral salts for your animals. That's the stuff that you go and get. If you don't have a local salt mine where you can get it like I have, you go and get these bags, and they're relatively inexpensive, and it's very inexpensive fertilizer for what I'm showing you, what I'm doing. You can not only kill off all the weeds in your road and not use chemicals, and it does it. You can see if you want to. I wanted to stop it creeping out into the road, so I just put just a little bit of salt right along here, and you can draw a line on there and you can kill it back. There's a few weeds here and there, but it works. Here's another prime example. This tree, 3 years ago or 4 years ago, it got some kind of a beetle in it, and it started dying, and I couldn't figure out, and it was my beautiful tree, the only tree I could really grow fruit on. And it died, and part of it is due to the sun hitting the south side, I've found. And you can see there is no bark. There is no bark on this whole south side of this tree. It just like died off. So I let some of these little apple, it started sprouting out from below that dead, and I've I can't tell you how many trees where I live that you you have that and you fence it off so the deer don't get to it, and then you turn this one into your new tree. So you just keep the same tree going because they shoot off starts from the base. So anyway, you can see right in here, let me show you. There's the bark. Look at how thick that bark is. And it really thickened up last year. After I salted it, it's like a half a tree. With the bark is only on the other side. And so this whole side, and look at the apples on it this year. It's just amazing. It's just loaded with apples, 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 apples. And you can see on the apple, and then the leaves that came out with the bud, they're hammered from that frost. But the apples, this one always had a few apples on it. But this year, amazing. But look at all the straight limbs on that thing. It shot up just like crazy. And you can just see it. If I pull back, you'll see, I just left it and I let all those limbs come in on it, but it came, the whole side of it, this right side over in here, it came out beautifully. And I was going to cut it down, and I thought, no, the poor thing, it looks like it's trying to survive. And last year after I salted it, boom, it just came back and loaded up on apples this year. But it's amazing what it's done. And you can see all of that growth that was shot up like 5 foot. And it needs to be trimmed out, but I'm just letting it go this year. And if you can see the apples on that thing, it is flat amazing. If you knew how bad the conditions were for growing apples down here, you just don't get them. On this tree, I have to say, there's been a few years, but nothing like this year. And it froze, by the way. It froze when they were all coming on. It's just loaded. If I just sit and pan through this, you just see apples, 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 apples. Anyway, that was just remarkable. The growth in it, and I'm just letting it go. I'm getting apples. Okay, here's another one right here. This is typical for our area. Is it just, and it's kind of, you can see this, some kind of a bug here, and I'm not sure what that is that took it out, but the sun hitting on this southern side, because it gets so hot in the day, in the spring, warms up way above freezing, and then it freezes at night. So you get these extreme cold, hot. And it's typical for trees to die off on this side. That's why I know better. I should paint it or put plastic around the base of it to help prevent this. This was another one that was completely dying off, and it shot up and just has all this growth up in there. This one's one that I've had, I don't know how many apples on it, maybe, I don't know, maybe a dozen over all of its life, but this one, it's ready to be chopped. I don't know if it'll survive. You can see the cold in here. It has all sorts of apples in there. But it has almost no bark on it. This one's my good one to show as an example. This thing is literally 20 years old, probably 22 years old, and it just sits in the same size, never grows. And when I put all that salt around it, it just went crazy. Look at all that up above it. That's all new growth, all of it. And it's sprouting out even. It's actually getting limbs, and I think it's like a dwarf tree anyway. But it's just going crazy, and it's loaded up with apples this year. And you can see around each apple, the leaves, it froze bad around them. In fact, if you take a look at that apple, well, if I can show it, there's the apple, and all these around the bud, they are all just fried. These are all new, fresh starts that have come out in the last few weeks. All the stuff around where the flowers put on is just dead. I mean, it froze all the leaves, but you can see them just around each apple. There's a group of leaves. Anyway, that's my example. This one, I've put tons more salt than that around each spot. around the base. And the reason why is I'm killing white top. And you can see I throw it like in this spot right here. There was a white top coming up through it, so I put half a handful right there. Half a handful right there. And I kill off, I could go through and show you all these dead spots around the base of this tree where the white top was. And so all of this is old salt. In fact, you can see in here, here's one. See the little pieces of salt in there? The little crystals that didn't dissolve. But it kills, if you put a handful of it, it kills that spot, but it's not killing the tree. You can see the minerals down in there. And it killed the white top. If I don't even know if there's any white top. See right there, there's another one, and I put this all around the base. So this thing has, again, here's your tree, and I'm pouring it around the base as I kill white top. Here's another one, there's another one. And these are handfuls all over in here, and that tree is going crazy. My point with showing you that is that the salt is safe for it. And look at the tree's growth. It's just amazing, and I cannot say enough. I had to do this video. I put it on my garden lightly for minerals, and my garden has been just doing amazing as well. Let me think what else. Okay, so, and I'm actually planting a couple more trees. I was giving up on them because I just said you can't grow anything here, any trees. And I have my greenhouses to grow the garden. In fact, I've got an amazing setup. I'm going to make another video of a new type of greenhouse that I've come up with. Oh, one more thing. My alfalfa in the back. I have an amazing deal with that. I went to get this salt, and they were telling me that farmers are actually finding that they can put, up to 400 pounds an acre and have it improved for fertilizer. And I've never put nitrogen on my ground, but this year, or 2 years ago, not 2 years ago, last year, I put 300 pounds per acre, and the stuff went crazy, my alfalfa. And the grass, and it's just full of minerals for any animals that you have. Here is a shot, I don't know if you can see, this is my pie cherry, which actually did well right here. My other pie cherry a little further away from the home, it got that southern exposed rot and has since fallen apart. But this one, I don't know if you can see how many cherries are in there. It's just full. Nothing like it ever before. But I put it around the base as well. I don't know if you can see all those. Okay, that's pretty much it. I could go on and show you more. But the trees behind the fence, obviously a fence increases the temperature, and that's just a way that you can have an amazing garden is fence in your yard. Keep the wind, it lowers the cold, it moderates the temperature, increases your zone a little bit. But that's another video, and I can show. But yeah, get this salt, try it, give it a shot. I think you'll be absolutely amazed. Good luck. It's good for us, good for the plants. God bless. I'll put out some other videos with some of the other stuff. Take care.